All right, so a roster breakdown is what is on tap for today's show. We're going to be looking at the 2023 53-man depth chart for the New Orleans Saints ahead of the Week 1 matchup against the Tennessee Titans. Welcome into today's show, Saints fans. My name is Trace Gerard, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in. No matter where you are or how you're watching, we greatly appreciate you. But before we get into the depth chart and before we start talking about each of these individual players and what I expect out of each and one of them throughout the entire season, drop a like on today's video if you are pumped up for the start of the 2023 NFL season. Man, Producer Chip, it feels freaking good to have some football back. Well, it's about that time. I got the beers in the fridge. I got some meat on the grill getting ready to go. If you are just like me, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. All right, so let's break it down position by position. Nothing crazy here, nothing really out of the ordinary, nothing to really run home and be like, what the hell is this? Quarterback room is pretty straightforward. DC4, he's going to be your QB1. You got J-Bo, he's going QB2. And you got the Senior Bowl MVP, Jake Haener, out of Fresno State. He is your QB3. So we will be seeing these three guys rocking the quarterback position. Hopefully we don't have to see much of Winston and Haener throughout the season. That means Derek Carr is healthy. All right, let's get to the running back room. I have Alvin Kamrara listed here because obviously, he's not going to count towards the 53-man roster while he's serving that 3-game suspension. However, we kept him in the graphic because y'all already know he's on the team. So Jamaal Williams, he's going to be your running back 1. Kendre Miller, he's your running back 2. He's dealing with that hamstring issue. As of right now, at the time we're filming this video, nothing really to talk about in terms of an injury update. If there are any injury updates, we'll have you covered, so be sure to subscribe. But Kirk Merritt, he's your running back 3. And then you have Prentice as your fullback. I'd love to see the Saints use him a little bit more this season as, a run threat. That'd be pretty fun. And then let's get to the wide receiver room. This is kind of a tough one because Tre'Quan Smith, he has that groin surgery that he's going to be dealing with. So he may miss Week 1. As of the latest updates around him, Dennis Allen, nothing really saying that, a timetable. There's no timetable on when he could be back. But we do know that Tre'Quan Smith is dealing with the groin injury. He's getting surgery done, and so he could miss Week 1. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rahsid, the need for speed. Shaheed, it was his birthday recently, so happy belated birthday to him. He is going to be your starting slot receiver. A.T. Perry, the rookie wide receiver out of Wake Forest. And then Keith Kirkwood, he's going to be your wide receiver as well. An early connection between him and Derek Carr in that NFL preseason Week 1 matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. The opening drive, the only time we got to see DC4 light it up on the field during the preseason. He threw a touchdown to Keith Kirkwood to close the drive out, so got to love that. Tight ends, here's a fun one. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Call me crazy. Deepest and most talented tight end room in the NFL. What other team has the depth at tight end that the Saints have? 4 deep. I mean, it's not 3 deep. It's 4 deep. Sure, a lot of teams have a good tight end 1, tight end 2 combo. But do you have 4? No. Juwan Johnson, Mr. Reliable. Last season, over half of his receptions were meaningful catches, meaning they were either a first down or a touchdown. They extended or completed drives. I love him. I'm expecting a big jump for him this year. Foster Moreau, the hometown kid. Hey, he had a crazy offseason, and he kicked it. He kicked this offseason's ass. He kicked Cancer's ass, and he is back. Or he is now with the New Orleans Saints after that Hodgkin's lymphoma scare that he have beat. He is going to be rocking out in New Orleans, back in Louisiana where he grew up. Taysom Hill, he's your tight end 3. He's not really tight end. He's a flex. He does everything, but he will be a bit more of a pass-catching threat this season. Jimmy Graham, your red zone threat, number 80, big boy Jimmy, Himmy Graham, Himothy, whatever you want to call him. Can't wait to see number 80 rock out this season. Let's round out on the offensive side of the ball in the frickin' trenches because that's where I love my football played. I was a lineman back in the day, so you got to show some love to the big fellas. The Hogs include Trevor Pennings, Andrus Peat / James Hurst. That's going to be kind of your starting left guard. Erik McCoy, he's going to be your starting center. Max Garcia backing him up. Cesar Ruiz, he is going to be your starting right guard. Hopefully he can build off of some of the momentum he built last season. Nick Saldiveri, he was a draft pick in day 3 for the New Orleans Saints. Makes the roster. Interesting enough, every single one of the Saints draft picks made the 53-man roster. Shout out to Nick Saldiveri for being an absolute Swiss Army knife, if you will, along the offensive line. Ryan Ramczyk, one of the best right tackles in the game. He will also be starting for you, as well as Landon Young on the depth chart. But guys, take a guess for me. We're about to have week 1. We're about to have a lot of really fun football. We're, about a week out. So let me know, Saints fans, how many wins for New Orleans in 2023? My score or my record prediction, initially, I set it at 11 wins. I'm not going to lie, after the preseason, I might bump it up to 12. It might be a little, I don't know. But you let me know, Saints fans. The show's not about me. It's all about you at home. So get down in the comment section and let me know. Let's get over to the defense, because we all know defense wins championships, and damn it, this is a defensive team that's built to win a championship. Cameron Jordan, a legend, future gold jacket wearer, future member of the Hall of Fame. He is going to be your defensive end. Got paid this offseason, got that extension. We'll see him around for the next few years, but I hope Cam Jordan has a freaking feast this season. Colin Saunders, big boy, number 99. Shout out to Binky. Dude can do backflips. Dude can rush the passer, and he can also stop the run. Colin Saunders is going to be fun in New Orleans. I love his energy. It really matches what the Saints like to do. Nathan Shepard, he's quick, he's speedy, he can be a run-stopping and pass-rushing force. Carl Granderson, shout out to him because he's shown a lot of progression and a lot of growth throughout the preseason and throughout the offseason and in training camp. He earned a spot as your starting defensive end opposite of Cam Jordan. Peyton Turner, Isaiah Foskey. Turner, he was your first-round draft pick a few years ago out of Houston. Hasn't panned out, approaching bust status. However, he says he feels confident and he's ready to go. Isaiah Foskey, your second-round draft pick out of Notre Dame this past season. A little rocky start in the preseason. Nothing really that impressive. But I will say this. You got time to develop him. You don't need him to be a number 1 right this second. And that's the beauty of having a nice defense. Malcolm Roach, shout out to him. The storyline around him has been very impressive. He has more than earned a spot on the 53-man roster for the New Orleans Saints. I'm hoping to see him have a big year. Shout out producer Chip, Bryan Bresee, his boy from Clemson. Let's see the boy eat. I want to see big old Bresee absolutely dominate. I want to see him eating a Thanksgiving plate worth of defensive production this year. Lantano Passanio, can't wait to see what he can do this season as well. Let's get to the linebacker room. My biggest question mark, my biggest concerns are going to be around the linebacker depth chart. You can see this right now. No Jalen Smith because he is on the practice squad. I do expect him to be elevated at some point. And honestly, if Zach Bond struggles, wouldn't be surprising if he takes his spot. But DeMarco Jackson, he's going to be backing up Demario Davis, who as well will be a future Hall of Famer in my book. Pete Werner, stay healthy, my guy, because when you're healthy, you play some damn good football, and I want to see you play a lot of that this season. Nephi Sewell, he's going to be a backup linebacker as well. So you got 5 guys in the linebacker room. Could the Saints add here? Could they make a trade? Could they go test free agency for something? Who knows? But I expect the Saints to be buyers at the trade deadline. And linebacker is a position to look out for. Let's get to the cornerbacks because I think this is a very strong part of the depth chart for New Orleans. Your 2 starting outside cornerbacks, Paulson Adebo, Marshawn Lattimore. So shout out to Paulson Adebo for winning the cornerback 2 battle on that outside CB spot. Alante Taylor, he is going to be your starting slot corner. You move on from Bradley Roby or recently, right at roster cuts, you let him go. He's not on the team anymore. So Alante Taylor, it's time to step up, old boy. It's time to step up. Tennessee Volunteer. Make everyone know it's Alante season. Isaac Yiadom, he's going to be a backup. Ugo Amadi, he as well is going to be a backup in the slot. Has some experience there, but he can also play a little bit of safety. And guys, before I keep going, I just want to take a quick second to remind you to subscribe. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Turn on your notifications. There's a really nice, big red button. I want to say, kind of here, maybe here, maybe here. I don't know, but it's right around here. Click that ish. Tickle it, if you will. Hit that big red button. Lock us in for Saints coverage all throughout the season. If we get enough subs on this video, I bet I can convince the bosses to let me go live for week 1 against the Titans. All right, let's get to safeties, and then we'll round out the depth chart with the specialists. But Tyrann Mathieu, an absolute legend, the Honey Badger. He's your starting safety. Marcus May facing a short suspension due to a DUI issue, but he is currently on the depth chart. Nothing to really report around that yet. So when that happens, another reason to subscribe will get you notified. JT Gray, Jordan Howden, those are going to be 2 backup safeties. Jordan Howden is a rookie that the Saints drafted out of Minnesota. Lonnie Johnson Jr., he as well is going to be a backup on the safety depth chart. And let's round it out with the specialists because special teams are people too. Blake Grupe. I mean, I'm going to keep it real here. Whenever we went into training camp, I would have said you are full of shit if you were to tell me we would have 2 rookie specialists. One of them being 30 years old. Blake Grupe, he is your starting kicker. He beat out Will Lutz. We saw the former Saints kicker get traded to the Denver Broncos to reunite with Sean Payton. The Denver Saints are looking to take pretty much all of the Saints sloppy seconds, it seems like. Lou Hedley beats out Blake Gillikin. And kind of note around Gilly, he worked out with the Eagles recently. Maybe the Eagles bring him in. Could see him be picked up pretty soon. I love the Aussie. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm not going to lie. Back in Miami and back when he was playing, Aussie-style football, wasn't uncommon to see him tuck the ball and run for a few yards on a trick, fake punt. Wouldn't hate to see that this year. It'd be pretty fun. Lou Hedley, can't wait. I've been high on him since he signed with the UDFAs. Zach Wood, long snapper. He's going to be back. No surprises there. And I found this pretty interesting. Shaheed is your kick returner and your punt return specialist. I know the Saints want to use him more as a wide receiver this year, and I know that the Saints want to utilize him more offensively as a weapon. So I find it interesting that he's going to be your starting kick returner and punt returner. I would not be shocked if a Jontre Kirkland gets elevated, if he takes over, if Ugo Amadi, if he takes over. Point being, I think the Saints are going to value Shaheed's speed on the offense more than on special teams, so I would expect that position to change at some point. But that's what you got for Week 1. And speaking of Week 1, Saints fans, you ready to watch our boy ball out? Y'all ready to start Cardi Gras? I got my freaking beads. I got my hand grenades. I got all my ish ready to run. If you are as well, let me know in the comment section who you got. Type S for Saints, type T for Titans. Comment down below, Saints fans. And as always, y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.